hope you all are doing well, and I am so nervous about filming this video. I wanted to put it off. I've recorded it before, and I'm not gonna lie, I think when I was filming the video beforehand, I was listening to Tupac's Hit 'Em Up. So it was a lot of like aggression that was made in that video, and I'm in a different spot where I am now. And this video is based on, I am letting y'all know that I'm one of many, and I'm in my 30s and I'm unemployed, and I'm redefining this era as me chasing my purpose. And part of that purpose is creating this YouTube channel, along with just being very open and vulnerable of this new stage of my life. Now, what made me like super nervous about filming this video is that, of course, a bunch of family members know what's going on. However, when it comes to my friends, I've limited a lot of information on, along with this, just like communication with my friends. I don't want to say I've dropped a lot of friends, but I've kind of just have taken this space to really focus on myself and not communicate with people who've known me in a good amount of time. And I have used this time to really focus on what I want to do, along with communicate with God and what He wants me to do. And I've had this conversation with Him in the longest on what my purpose is, and something along with talking to Him on a daily basis is that this is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and that it's unfair for me to pause my creativity in order to be in part of a corporation where I have tried multiple times to fit in. On a little backstory on, I guess, the place that let me go is, before joining that organization, I had worked at my previous employer for almost 3 years, and I loved working with them. I loved the team, I loved my boss, I loved everyone there, and I just knew it was time for a change because I wanted to move out on my own, move out to an area that I just knew nothing about. And I took that chance by getting in my old employer who let me go, and I was with that employer for about 4 or 5 months, and I quickly knew that they weren't my people. Within being part of the organization, within, like, I want to say month 1, I knew these aren't my people. They didn't communicate the way I would have when it came to communicating to customers. Along with, my previous manager was a micromanager and very microaggressive. There were a lot of comments that she had made to me that made me like really think like I would never talk to anybody like that. Like, and considering the amount of time that I knew her, just made it very uncomfortable for me to learn. Along with when it came to trying to get information on certain things, when I would go to certain members of the team, they just were rude, and it made it very hard for me in my development when it came to trying to get this like tribal knowledge. And the lesson I learned from going there is that all money ain't good. Like, I after around, I found out real quick that although it was, and it gets me so sad because here, this opportunity, like, it came with a higher pay along with a bonus. However, the bonus was, of course, there was a trick to it, that if I had accepted this bonus, that I would have signed a 2-year contract, and should I quit, I would have had to pay that bonus back. And luckily that they had let me go, I don't have to worry about paying that bonus back. And so that was something that I was worried about while working there, is because I knew that I wanted to leave. I knew these weren't my people. I knew this wasn't the path, the purpose that God had put me on. And I did everything right throughout my adulthood. I went to college, I graduated college, I worked for Disney, at Disneyland, and back then I wanted to work my way up the scale and go into corporate, and because I wasn't paid too well at Disney, I thought, okay, this isn't cutting it. Like I have to work somewhere closer to home and find my purpose through that way. So I did that. I left Disney and ended up working for my previous employer for about 3 years, and it was in sales, and I learned a lot in there, and I'm super grateful for that opportunity, that how long it lasted me. It taught me a lot about sales, along with business, along with how to communicate within myself, and selling the product, selling yourself to customers. So I'm super grateful for that. And I just wanted, like I said, I wanted to move out. I wanted a higher income, and I was given that. And as I don't know if you can tell, but like I currently live in a studio that I was able to move in with my old job. And I'm grateful for that because it put me in this spot. Like I love where I live. I love my studio. I'm super grateful for it all, but I just wasn't happy at work. I saw myself stripping of what made me happy. I wasn't putting on as much makeup and that sounds so silly. I want to make it a very, very, want to make it a heavy point that I do makeup because I'm an artist. I use these brushes, and it's in a form of an expression of art, and that's why I love makeup, because I'm allowed to express myself through that lens. And for me to not express myself through that way was a dead giveaway that I was kind of slipping in the slope of being depressed. I wasn't hanging out with that much family, even though I live close to them. I was crying, along with I was journaling about being miserable, and I was also asking God to put me out of the situation of being employed there. And I was very fortunate that God had listened to that prayer and was able to get me out of that environment, because I wasn't blooming into the woman I wanted to be, along with I just wasn't happy there. And this message is to tell you that there are many of us who are in our 30s that are unemployed. And yes, my situation in particular freaking sucks because I just got this high paying job. I just moved out, and then bam, like I got a big source of income taken away from me. But the important thing is that through any obstacle is to find resilience in that, along with to persevere. And that's what I'm doing. I'm doing what I've always done, is that whenever life has given me a hard time, is that I am talking about it, I'm journaling about it, and now I'm recording it. And this part of my healing journey, along with chasing my purpose, is all new. And I'm just so grateful that I get this season where I'm allowed to be free, be creative, and do it all with love, and along with giving it to God. This is, I want to say, the most I've ever talked to God, the most I've this is the most I've read the Bible. I'm so sorry. This is the most I've read the Bible, and I just feel myself closest to God than I've ever have. And I know I've questioned him before, but this season in particular is that I'm not questioning him. I know that this is part of the purpose, along with he did answer my prayers. He heard me say that, hey, I want to move out, God. I want to get a good paying job. And I was given that. And then working there, I found out, God, these aren't my people. Please save me. And he did that. And I'm forever grateful that I get to enjoy this season. I'm just now in the season of the unknown, along with chasing my purpose and figuring what that is and what it looks like. There's a lot of unknown that makes me very nervous about that. And I have to learn that I'm just giving this all to God, and that he's letting him do the work. And of course I have to do my homework, right, by like praying and doing good along with volunteering. And that's one thing that I also want to give a big giveaway to those who are unemployed, is you need to volunteer. You need to volunteer, whether it's giving food out through a food bank or through a nonprofit organization. Please volunteer, because there, as you imagine, a lot of us are going through hardships, and I think volunteering allows me to step outside the house. It's allowing me to network. It's allowing me to also be creative. Fortunately, I found a position through volunteering that allows me to be creative along with, I get along with everyone on the team, which shows that, hey, my team is out there. I'm with my team currently where God is allowing me to, and to take what I have and take advantage of it in the best way. So I was nervous about this because I said, like, not all my friends know about this, and I'm worried about if this goes viral. But it comes to a point where I felt like I'm expressing a lot of things that have helped me healed, along with artists that have helped me healed, and I'm missing a big part of what led me to making this channel, which is me getting let go. So I hope you all find this message valuable. I hope you all know that there's perseverance along with resilience in there, and to believe in yourself and ultimately give it all to God. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just giving this all to God, is that I have enough faith in him, along with, I know he listens to me. There are signs that he listens to me. There are signs that my thoughts are powerful, and that I have no doubt that I'm going to be successful, and that everything that I imagine is probably going to be a little bit better. It might be better, but I know that God has always listened to me, and that me and him have this special relationship where I can always have faith in him and not worry too much. I do worry a lot, but I ultimately just give it to God at this point. But I love you all. Thank you for all the 10 subscribers, 10 gang. You all are the OGs. Thank you so much. Along with, if you come across this video, thank you for sparing some time. And I love you all. Have a great day, and today is the Chinese Lunar New Year, so have a good one.